Okay, so I'm just post-workout now. Just got home. So I am now going to fund the rest of my envelopes that are sitting here. So I do have a kids allowance envelope that I have put in the safe just so that I don't carry around a bunch of cash in my envelopes for them. So I do put that away. So I have my Christmas money. So one thing that I'm missing is actually my budget table. And I keep it really handy. And I always do my budgeting and stuff in the same room. So I know what I need to do. So the first one that I need to fund, and I also need to have a pen or a pencil so I can check these off. So the first one I have is gas. And I had told you guys that I advanced my gas to myself last week. So I'm actually going to set, I have $20 for that. I'm going to set the $20 aside for my gas money. That's going to go into my Marceline Vet Fund. So Christmas money is what I have sitting here. That's $50 that I've allotted for that. And I may have change in here. I do, so I'm gonna give myself 100. So I'm gonna put 100 in there with change back. So I have 50 in there from last pay period. All right, so that's now funded. My HSA is $61 a month. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 1. That's for medical bills, medicines. Nick, my husband, has been sick this week, so that went to buying medicine, dentist, anything that our copay doesn't cover, especially medications. Life insurance, I have a life insurance policy that I do fund. That's only $13 a month. So I'm going to put 13 in there. And I'm going to need more change. So I actually have more change in what is now the Marceline Fund, but originally it was for our vacation fund. But since she is needing some dental work, I'm going to use it as my change bank. I do have ones in there. So let's see. I needed my 10, 11, 13 for life insurance. That'll go in there. I have a clothing fund that I actually spent this last week to get my son some shorts, some workout shorts. So what I'm going to do is, normally I do drop these down, but I do find that if I have a really busy week, sometimes I don't make note of how much change I got because I didn't spend all of the $25. In fact, somehow I spent a $20 and I got $5 back. So I guess that's $15 basically is what I spent of the $25. So, but I think I factored that out, that I spent the full $25 because we've had a bunch of clothing purchases lately. It's cold out. We've had to stock up on some gloves, upgrade some of our jackets. My son had a jacket rip at school last week, so I fixed it. So there's a lot of things that we do to adjust so that we try not to go over our budget. So I'm going to be marking all of these off. So the pocket change I already funded. Food I already funded. You saw me do that in the car. Gas is already handled. Kids allowance is paid. Our health savings account is paid. Our Christmas has been paid. My life insurance has been paid. And my clothing. So what I have left is special occasion, We have a fund for special occasions that pop up. Sometimes it's a birthday present for somebody that we forgot a birthday was coming up. Or sometimes it's a date night for my husband and I. It can be a lot of different types of things. So that's my special occasion fund. So, and I'm hoping you've seen all of these. Here's my insurance, our HSA, our Christmas money. And you can see, these are ghetto. I don't have nice, for the person watching this who has OCD, organizational skills, you are probably going to hate my system, but my husband is one of those. So if this doesn't work for you, you can find a better envelopes to use and folders and things like that, but this works for me. So my auto maintenance is my next one. That's $60 a pay period. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So put that in here. Put that off to the side. So I did recently lock my safe and I had lost the key. This is the first time I've done it, and I think we've had it for 3 or 4 years. So I had to get in touch with the safe company and get a new key. And so I have some extra envelopes. I finally just got the key in the mail today, so I was able to open it. And luckily I didn't save a bunch of things in there, a bunch of money, because I would not have gotten to it it's been that way for about 6 weeks, maybe 2 months. So that was not good. Make sure you do not do that. So I have some duplicates because I had to hide it somewhere else in the house. But part of the reason I want to use a safe is not only for a break-in situation or even just kids getting into stuff. It's also if there's a fire. Supposedly this safe will protect it. Okay, so auto maintenance I now have done. I just paid at the gym. I paid $80 for my gym membership fee. And I have a new category now, which is my doggy fund. So what I'm going to do is use one of these envelopes, and you can obviously find a new one. But I'm going to use one that I'm no longer using for Christmas because I already have another one. And I'm going to put pet expenses. So, and my gym membership should actually be a new envelope as well. So for that, it's $49.09 a month. And what I'm actually going to do is round it up to $50, or not a month, per pay period for the dog fund. So I'm going to round it up to $50, and I do that quite a bit. I'll just round it up $1, sometimes $2 if it makes sense. So there's 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. That'll go into that Marceline fund. Okay, so now that says pet expenses, and again, feel free to find a new envelope if you don't want to recycle them. I totally understand. So now what I have left in here, let me mark off my dog fund. And I just double check then to make sure everything's been paid and marked off on my sheet. So here's my sheet. You can see I've been marking off all of these once I know they're paid, so I don't get confused about what I've done. Ideally, you do have an app. There's an app called EveryDollar that you can download that will help you check that off, so that when I was out in the car and I didn't have my physical budget, I was still able to mark it off as having been funded. That's a good thing to have. I haven't gotten into using it, but I know there's good feedback on the app. I just happen to like doing it old school. So what I have left here should match up with how much I thought I'd have. And if it doesn't, I need to go back and check why. But essentially, this money needs to be going toward Marceline's vet care fund. So I have $400 there, 10, 20, 35. So $435 that I'll be able to put towards the Marceline fund, or my vet bill. All right, so I'm actually going to write that here. Okay, and again, feel free to use a nice envelope if you'd like to. My system works for me, but it can work differently for other people. And so that is now complete. So I set aside $20, and I'm trying to remember why. So this is part of why I need to have as many envelopes out as possible, because, oh, this needed to go towards the vet bill. So this was my leftover gas money that I advanced. But this is why you need to have all of your information out on the table before you start this process, so you don't set some money aside and forget where it came from and what it was supposed to fund. Because ideally, you're not jumping around this much either. You're trying to keep it in a regular schedule, but I've noticed that as we've adjusted, we've been doing this since September, it's now January, I have realized that my system has changed over time, and what I want to fund changes as I'm adjusting to seasonal changes and lifestyle changes and things like that. So you do have to adjust quite a bit, and that reflects some of my jumping around. But essentially, that is my process for funding my envelopes for the week on payday / bill payday. So I hope this helps.